Hello everyone, welcome back to the GG Gamer. It has been a while, but I'm back with you now with another game I want to show you. This is another one of those post-apocalyptic real-time strategy games that I absolutely love sinking hours into. So I've played it as an early access, and I believe it's recently come out of early access into a full game. 2 DLCs have been released as well. So I thought, you know, perfect time, jump into a new game and show you what it's all about. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, do we want tutorial? Nah. Survival mode? Nah. Scenarios? Challenging scenarios. Survival mode, you can configure your game according to your own needs. There are no predefined conditions to win, create a huge settlement or fight against a challenging environment. Anything's okay, I think that sounds like it for me. Easy game, sorcery combat, where you start as an easy game in which you still have to combat threats such as drought. On the other hand, you have much more time to react and prepare yourself. So let's see what's in the settings. Severity on, maximum rain, contamination low. Okay, easy. So, yeah, this looks all good, and to be honest, for a starting game, just to show you what it's like, I think this sounds like a good idea. Town centre's there, okay. Let's go into settlement name. Breaktown, that seems a bit unimaginative. Let's say the Winchester. Because after this is all blown over, we can go there for a nice cold pint. Right, let's jump into it. So, it's got a lot of similarities to other sort of real-time strategy base building where it's obviously resource driven. Starting off with a 90s camper van.
This looks like a good place to settle. You know what we learned in the Endzone. Basic needs come first and foremost. We have to build up a water and food supply, and then
let's build ourselves a new home. So, water and food. Okay. Before they do anything, let's pause it and have a look around at this. Okay. So, water's obviously one resource that we absolutely need. I remember scrap metal, which is what all this is, you know, a resource you need a bit later on, you know, for the more complex buildings and things like that. And, you know, when you want to make, you know, defences and things like that, all scrap metal. Obviously wood, you know, for the basic structures, and I think it rains. So let's have a look at the top. Got water, food, wood, scrap, tools, radiation. Oh, okay, so radiation's the other sort of like competing thing that you have to contend against, because like they will get radiation at some point. It's not a question of if, it's just how much. So let's see. Average radiation of all settlers. Okay, so there's none at the moment. This is how happy they are. Contentedness, average confidence. Yeah, okay. Science points, basically rich food. Number of different items currently being stored at the settlement. Provision of large number of foods. Okay, so it's like extra. So these medicine, cloth, metal. I think you can make cloth, metal, and plastic from scrap, but you need to sort of like process it, as you can with electronics. Coal, oh, you need to mine that later on. And as you build buildings, that's, the tools go down, so you need to make more. Okay, so let's get some water started, shall we? Actually, first let's do some wood. Now I've skipped the tutorial, so let's system collects and stores water. It requires a wooden jetty, so let's build a jetty first. Somewhere where you can put this. Let's see. You always need water, so if I can put 2, that would be absolutely fantastic. There we go, another one. Okay. So we need a cistern. Collects and stores water. Requires a wooden jetty. So okay, let's put this one here. Okay, I want it where it'll collect from both without destroying too many trees. There we go. Okay, that's done. Well, we can do later, water tower. So I think that's the next level up from cistern. So we just need it basic at the moment. Let's see, food. So you cultivate field, orchard, gatherer's cabin. Let's do a fishing hut. Because I think, yeah, 100% efficiency, that's exactly what we want. Let's see if we can get, okay, we can just about get it there, yep. So that's food and water, and then let's just do wood. Forester's log can either cut down trees, plant them, combine both in a predefined zone. This mode can be configured. Right, that sounds perfect. So let's see, where are we going to place this thing? I think we need it somewhere out in the distance, like here, really, because we don't want to start. Let's see if we can put it out here. So I think that's here. We can get them to replant as well. Right. Okay. So the idea of having it here is they can cut. Select it. Yeah. It said. So they're cut down and reforest. So yeah, they'll cut down the trees and then plant new ones as well. So it's, you know, it's kind of like a permanent resource then. I mean, the more you build, obviously, it doesn't match because it takes time to grow. But it helps if you can sort of keep having that, you know, log resource coming in, because that's like one of the basics. Okay, how do I? There we go. So unselect that. Any unemployed? Let's see. Children. I'm trying to see. Professionals. Okay. So I need to assign. Let's assign builders, water cistern, fisher, forester. So 2 are going to do the foresting, 2 are going to do the fishing. Put another in water and another in building. There we go. That looks like a good idea. And then we need to build a house. So obviously you need to shelter them as well. How many people can stay in this? Number of inhabitants, 2 adults, 3 children, but then you get a shelter. So yeah, I need to collect scrap and get cloth for a shelter, but you can put 25 people in it. So that's all done. And do you know what, next I'm going to get a hunting lodge. As you can see these animals going around, you can hunt and capture them as well. And that actually brings in rich food, and it sort of makes them happier and healthier. And that's always a good thing. Population in decline, so we need to bring that up. Obviously we need a decent amount of people in the settlement, because you need them to build, you need to actually do the job. So if you go back into this screen here, you actually assign them, you know, where you want them. I mean, I think they kind of take over by default really, but it's, you can manage them a lot more carefully. Why did that one come out? I put 4 in there, I'm sure. 4 in the water collection. Okay, so we haven't got many to spare, but I think we need to start collecting scrap as well. So I think that's the next one I'm going to build. So let's see resources. So you get scrap rail to collect scrap from workers move faster than. So we need to do then a recycler, and that turns it. Actually, maybe it's a refiner. Hang on, let me. So this is an important page. So I remember a tailor shop that makes the kind of protective clothing from radiation that you give to your settlers. Then you need a workshop as well, because they go through tools as they build things, which is very annoying, but it happens. But all that comes from scrap. So I think the next thing I need is scrap yard to get this. So here looks like a good place next to the Forester's Lodge, and it will actually clean all this up. And once my base grows a little bit, I can actually tell this forester to just cut down, and it will make space for it to go. And then I can obviously, you know, move it. You can actually move the area that they cut down or replace. But for now, I want them to reforest after a while. Okay, so all the trees are dying for some reason. I forget why that's happening. But at least I'm getting water and food in. That's always good. Okay, so let's go into scrap. at least one person to start collecting them. And then we need a recycler to start turning the scrap into cloth, metal or plastic, and then those resources go into sort of other things as well. So it's quite intricate the way everything fits together, and if you lose one, say for example, if you don't make enough cloth, you can't make enough protective clothing for the radiation, and then your villagers start to die, they get sick, but then you can combat that if you have medicine, or you know, and then you can only sort of get a gas mask once you've got coal, and then so it's all interconnected and it's very well done. You can see sort of 19 are homeless now, so we need to focus on building them a shelter next. But so the choices are with housing, I can either build a cabin, but I'd need to build about 10 cabins because there's 19 adults, or I can build wall and shelter. I'm probably going to have to actually build a cabin because that's only 8 wood and 15 scrap, and I need to start housing them. They get quite antsy if you don't. So let's put 1, 2, 3. Let's flip that round. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'll build 2 more just so I can expand everything I have. Right, so let's see them do that, and then at least they won't be homeless, because they really don't like if you know, as the mayor, if you can't get them housing. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. So this is done, and it's almost 600 worth of scrap, and it's going to get all this. So, but once it exhausts its scrap, you obviously can't replant like the forester. But once it's used all that up, you can actually redirect the circle somewhere else, as to sort of, you know, so you don't have to delete that building or anything, which is quite handy. And later on the tech tree, you can obviously get electricity to sort of help power these buildings at night, and you know, it gets quite in depth, which is obviously why I really liked it. And I haven't explored the DLC too much yet, but they looked interesting as well. So this seems to be functioning pretty well for now, so let's have a look. I said later I wanted to get a hunter's cabin because there seems to be a lot of wildlife going through here, and so yeah, only getting 2. So the fish are good, obviously, as long as there's no drought and that doesn't dry up. But as you can see, a drought is coming a bit further on, so it'd be a good idea to get a hunter's cabin, because they go out, get food pretty constantly. But let's have a look. See, yeah, our population's grown. So you can always put these into more. So yeah, I'm going to build a hunter's cabin. Let's see where we're going to put it. Food. Gatherers. Hunting lodge. There we go. So just like the others, you can change that circle, so you don't need to put it in the middle of nowhere. But actually, I'll put it next to my fishing hut. That makes sense. Like have the food, you know, resources close together. But oh, I don't like that. Did you hear that? If you click on it, it's a gun cocking. Oof. So what's the thing? Hunt, capture, hunting and capturing. So later on in the game, when you've got farms, you go out and capture the wildlife to put in the farms, which I thought was a really cool sort of mechanic. Okay, so we want to see where like the highest concentration is. There's 640 food there. That's the closest. I think I'm gonna go there. Okay, but we need to assign someone. But yeah, 2 people. So I don't know where these people come from. I don't know if they're just like amazingly quick at reproducing, but you do seem to get people very quickly all of a sudden. So we need someone in hunting. Actually, let's do 2 hunters just to get that food up. Yeah, scrap's ticking along nicely. But yeah, you want to get water and food as the very, very basic supplies, you know, under control. So this is on buildings in the vicinity. So you can upgrade this. Upgrade to water tower. So yeah, you need plastic and coal for that. But it's really handy having a water tower. And it's handy, you can just upgrade it, so you don't need to sort of delete that one or build it, you know, the water tower, then delete it. So I do like it that they thought you can just upgrade a building, if it makes sense. Let's see what else. So we've got the housing. So yeah, 3 settlers are homeless. So the cabins, I made a joke about them reproducing, but it's the case. It's like the cabins can have children in it, whereas the settlement is just a big sort of place for adults that, you know, no one's starting a family there. But in the cabins they do, obviously. So I think we need to build a few more. So let's see, try and keep it in line, because they actually the housing, they will actually choose or also have a preference as to where they're located. Like if it's really close to some like toxic radioactive sludge, obviously they won't like it and they'll give you a load of grief for it. But okay, those are being built. So let's see what else we need to do. So food and the water, production limit 9,000, right. Production limit 5,000, all good. So I'm thinking now I need to store some of this stuff. So I'm going to look into storage. Logistics, food station, temporary storeroom, there we go. Storeroom provides additional space for resources. This building cannot be used to house water, of course. So where are we going to put a storeroom? That makes sense. It doesn't need to be anywhere. Actually, it probably would be good to be quite well located. Because obviously, yeah, actually let's keep it at the centre. So I think I'm actually going to move this, because we're sort of lopping down the trees there anyway. I'm going to move this a bit further out so I can expand my base a bit. So that's moved, and can you see like all the buildings now, they get rid of the trees anyway. So I don't want the forester coming in, planting them, and then I just do a building and it destroys them instantly. Okay, what's this radiation? Okay, what's happening here? This building produces contaminated resources. Okay, so yeah, the radiation is going to rise, obviously. Yeah, storage capacity running low, so that's why that happens. So let's see if we can upgrade to mounted bus. Okay. So yeah, it's a bit more of a sort of permanent fixture then. Let's save. I've always found the music, it's kind of very electro, techno, you know, apocalyptic kind of stuff. It kind of fits it well, but it's not sort of too dubstep trance that it sort of takes you out of the, you know, engagement you get with building something like this, which I find brilliant. So let's see what else we need to do. As you can see, a drought's coming, so you need to prepare for that. The water's pretty good, so you know we're doing a pretty good job of collecting water, but I think we could do more. So we can't upgrade this for like a better thing yet, which is a water tower, because it said you needed, what was it? Yeah, you needed plastic and coal. So, so let's see what we can do about that resources. So, recycler produces either metal, cloth, or plastic or electronics. So yeah, it's good to have some of these. But these are the kind of things, obviously, if you put them near houses, people get a bit upset. So it's good to kind of, what I've done in the past is have sort of like a housing and food and so on section here. And then on the other side have like your industry and production and things like that. So we don't need to put this anywhere too specific, but I think here would be good. Don't take up any more space than is needed. I think 2 for now would be good. And then we need to think of the workshop, because we need tools, we're sort of running out, and we need a tailor shop. So these are like, so the tailor shop produces clothing that protects them against radiation. I mean, in the beginning it can only be very basic, because you've only got cloth to work with. So I'm going to do one recycler producing cloth, I want the other one metal. So let's see, workshop, scrap tool. So they're very basic, they break easily but they're quick to make, and you only need scrap to make them. Neck scarf, that's all you can really make in the beginning with cloth. But again, you can see how it all fits together. So what's happening here? Cloth, yeah, cloth. Yeah, so one needs cloth, one needs metal, which is why, yeah, Oh no, 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 no. Okay, so let's do those, and let's put 2 people into refining that we don't have yet. So we don't need these yet. Technician makes the tools, tailor makes the protective clothing. We don't need them until, you know, it's actually made. So let's see if we can just prioritize this. Yeah. Now I'll do this one as build next as well. Okay, they're going to do that anyway, so let's just... they need scrap, yeah, so that's going to be built, and then this one, build next, yeah, okay. So, these recyclers now, that one will make cloth, and that will make metal from scrap. And then once you have that, you go over into these 2, you know, one needs scrap, cloth, one needs metal, to actually build them, and then they can start making your settlers a bit more protective, which is good. Right, we're coming close to the drought, which is where you need stockpiles of food and water. So I think I'd actually better just whack down another cistern, just because it's, if I don't have enough water for my settlers, they're going to be pretty mad. And let's see if I can put another jetty down as well, just so they can get more water. I'm sure I've tried there. See here, oof, so close. There we go. So let's make sure they both cover that jetty. Just about, yeah. So what's this complaining about? Storage is near capacity, okay. Yeah, so let's make sure this is built next. Build next, yeah. Okay, we should get that done hopefully right before the drought hits. I've already built the other jetty, I think. Yeah. Let's put more people if we can into water. We do see, yeah. Now I've hit a bottleneck between, you know, spreading sort of all your settlers out to do different jobs and then pulling them away from building, and then you need building to sort of, yeah. So can we pull back from any? No, let's leave that as it is for now and just hope for the best. So yeah, already dried up. Didn't get any water in that. Let's just hope and pray. So during droughts, just I hit fastest game speed. You know, just no matter what happens, just get through the drought as quickly as you can, and then once you're on the other side, then worry about everything that's going wrong. That's usually my tactic with it. So if we can survive the drought, come out the other end, you know, that's like the test. And obviously I think the droughts get progressively worse, and then there's radiation to contend with and all that kind of stuff. Soil moisture, yeah, it's all dried out. Electricity, location, attractiveness. Yeah, negative influence is all the industry. Go on blue, which doesn't really have anything yet, or green. So let's get rid of that. Oh, there we go. So, what's the question mark there? Yeah, nothing doing. So actually, during a drought, you could actually pull all the water carriers away and just get them to do other jobs, because I mean, if there's a drought, they're not going to be getting anything, are they? As you can see, rain will happen later on, and you can build a sort of water carrier. So what's this? Wells and electric water pumps. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, see, everything's come back. Great. Water tower. Collects and stores water. It can also use coal. No, that's not it. Rainwater collector, that's what we want. So we can actually, you know, do a bit more for our water situation by having this. No, that won't work. Let's think of a good place that doesn't absolutely take up a ridiculous amount of space. So probably here actually. Keep all the water in one place. Irrigation plant. So I haven't even explored farming yet. That's another way of obviously getting food. But you need to designate whole swathes of land. So you can see now that we've got the hunting lodge and the fishing lodge, rich food is going up. The provision of large numbers of types of food together with herbs keeps the settlers healthy and lowers the risk of an outbreak of a disease. which is, you know, very good. So then if you get a gatherer's cabin, greenhouse, aquafarm, kitchen, pasture, so all these are really cool to explore. Aquafarm, that's new, I haven't tried that before, as is a greenhouse. Pasture is a farm. So here we go. Menus are unprotected. We should boost our protected. Okay, I'm going to decline that because in my experience they set just unachievable goals and you just end up doing it anyway. I think it's only because I haven't got someone assigned to that. But yeah, now there's 8 people. So that's probably why. Let's whack up the builders and more scrap. Oh, put more in water. There we go. So that's, yeah, see, all of a sudden it shoots up after that drought. Oh look, see, look, 5 more, and yet 10 homeless. So I already need to build more houses. But I can't build a settlement, which is what I'd like to build. Shelter. So I need 10 cloth, but it's coming. So, do you know what, I'm going to build that anyway, just to house people. Because that will get rid of 25 adults and it frees up the cabins for families, which is really, really kind of handy. But I need to keep that cloth coming, and something else is taking that cloth, which I think, yeah, is that. Production, oh no, go up. We need way more scrap than that. Right, okay, Forester's Lodge. No, you're well collecting a lot more than that. I don't know why they do these production limits. It's never made sense to me. You want them to keep, it's the apocalypse, you want them to gather as much resources as you can. What's going on here? Question mark. Needs cloth. Okay, yeah, that's what's taking the cloth. That needs, so I need cloth, and what was the other one? Plastic. For that one, cloth. Something needed plastic. That was it. So I can stop doing metal. It's amazing. So yeah, I've got housing situation sort of under control. I need to get a bit more cloth to start doing more protective gear, and even that's only neckerchiefs. But you can see how everything sort of, you know, works with one another. You need to get this to do that, and then to get that, you know, means you can do this. So it's all really intricately, you know, worked. And this is obviously like the easiest setting, so, you know, I've really not had a challenge. Later on there's attacks from raiders and things like that, as in any apocalypse. So it really heats up, and you know, I hope, you know, if you're thinking about giving this game a go, just pick it up. It's on Steam and it's well worth, you know, go if you like those base building real-time strategy games that you can sink hours into and, you know, really get some enjoyment out of it. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video and watching me play this game, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.